Little trick for you. When you blow a brake line, stop putting finishing nails in your lines. Fuck that. Carry a couple of these in your glove box or your ashtray. It's a brake fitting, but I filled it up with solder. You plug her right off at the master cylinder. Now, before you thread that in, if you got an old junk master cylinder around, you're going to want to go ahead and crank that in there, and it'll put a divot in that solder, and it'll seal real good. Show you how we do it real quick here. You go ahead and get your fitting nice and hot. I use the rosin core solder because you don't need flux or any bullshit like that. Just your torch and your solder. Now you don't want to get this thing red hot. Right about the time it starts changing colors. Oh, come on now. There we go. Start feeding that solder in there. Now, if you're a professional, you're going to want to breathe as much of that shit in as you can. Because, it's good for you. This one may not be as good as the other. Now, you might think you want to dunk that in water or something. Nah, I let them cool down on their own. I've had better luck with it that way. I mean, this one isn't... Focus. There we go. This one isn't completely filled to the top with solder like the other one. But as long as you got a good plug in there, and that'll get you home. I've drove vehicles with a plug in the master cylinder for fucking 10,000 miles on just the front brakes. You got to do what you got to do. Or if you got an old beater that ain't worth spending $600 having a shop put new brake lines on, and you got one line blown to your back brakes, save you a lot of money and a lot of hassle. And if you need this later on, take your torch, heat it up, and all that solder will run right out of there, and you can use it for a brake line fitting the way it was meant to be again.